All right, week 6 discussion. You know what that means. We're going to have fun. We're going to have some cool options from which to choose when it comes to discussion this week. So let's get into it. Well, we're going to do one specifically on web browsers, which kind of makes sense since we're talking about that in the lecture this week. And so you're going to have an opportunity with this topic to investigate some of the app stores connected to some of these major browsers. And so what you're going to be doing is looking around there and looking at what these different app stores have to offer specifically related to extensions and add-ons. We can talk about themes and stuff if you want to, but it's an opportunity for you to start kind of delving into what browsers do offer their users, right? What can you do to be more efficient online? What can, with extensions and add-ons, what can you do to just make your everyday browsing behavior much easier, right? So this is a nice one that allows you to get into a bunch of different app stores and in the process investigate a couple of different browsers as well, which is kind of cool. The next topic is related to web security and privacy. And so there's a link to an interview with a cybersecurity expert, and it may be pretty eye-opening to many of you, right? You may feel totally secure and everything's private online, and after this, eyes will be wide open like saucers, okay? Because it may not be the way you think, all right? And so this one should hopefully spur a good conversation about what we should be doing online to keep ourselves safe, to keep our privacy, all right, to secure our privacy. Because the reality is there are a lot of actors out there that are trying to kind of get a lot of our information. We think about it as like all these, bad guys who are going to take our stuff and sell it on the dark web. Well, that is an issue, but it's more subtle than that. You've got plenty of big companies and organizations that just want to gather as much data on you as possible so that they can sell that information to third parties and market more advertising to you. Well, it's not that big a deal. Okay, but there is a privacy issue related to that. And do you know about that? So that's what the second one's going to be about. Now, related to that is our third topic, which is specific to Google. Everybody knows Google, right? Google has had a pretty bad reputation over the past few years when it comes to user privacy, when it comes to user information. And this is largely because Google, among other companies, Facebook does this too, and others do, they have this reputation of data mining everything. And by data mining, we mean collecting as much information on its users as possible to essentially create these kind of digital profiles of everybody who uses this stuff. So they know so much about you, far more than you think they do. And this is largely done for marketing purposes. Not maybe there's other reasons too, but that's largely the reason is for marketing purposes. So the question is, how do you feel about that? So there's something that you're going to be reading in this thread as well, and this should again start a really interesting conversation about the importance of privacy relative to the biggest tech giants in the world. So we got 3 topics this week, very interesting ones. Last week was great, and if last week was any indication, this week is going to be another killer week in discussion. Very much looking forward to seeing what y'all bring to the table this week. Thanks, folks.